Hey, this is Bobby with Bobby Hobby and Custom Builds. Uh, Today, in this episode, I'm going to be revealing some of the projects that I'm going to be working on this channel. Just a few things, that I've got set aside for projects. Anyway, here we are. One of the projects that I'm going to be doing on here is this '02 Pontiac Grand Prix. Pretty nice car. It runs and drives. It's got the 3800 Series 2 V6 in it. The 3.8 liter to be exact. There's the specs, some of them. Anyway, this is one of the projects that I'm going to be doing, painting it. Haven't really decided what color and stuff I'm going to do, but let's unlock it here real quick and I'll do a walk around. These wheels and tires did not come with the car. Uh, they're on it right now, but the guy I got the car from has got the factory wheels and tires that he's bringing over. I'll put those on the channel eventually as soon as we get them here. But it's a Grand Prix GT. Just gonna walk around it and show you. I got to get some of these new little ground effects right here for it. That's some of the stuff that I'll be doing on the channel. Putting some new tail light buckets in it, prettying it up a little bit. I'm really thinking about going a real dark black with the color and doing some dark gray spider webbing all over it, something like that. And then maybe making the interior red, blood red, kind of vampire-ish, if you will. I don't know though, it's not fully decided yet. Let's take a look at the inside of it. It's not bad. There's a few little odds and ends that it might need here and there. I mean, if I go blood red, I'll definitely change out all the interior. But it's a pretty solid car that I picked up. All the dash looks good. I mean, there's this little crack in it, and it's kind of bowed a little bit right here, but that'll be easy to fix. I'll do that on the channel too. Other than that spot, the dash is pretty clean. It's got a little stereo in it. Needs ashtray and a little coin thing, but I mean, maybe a new steering wheel if I can get one. Probably go to a junkyard, but it's not really ragged out for an '02. The headliner's still really good in it. As you can see, it's sticking up, not peeling down. Maybe get some new visors for it. All in all, it's really good. There's a few things in here that I want to get out of it, and I might be able to just fix the old ground effect for the door. It come loose and dented the fender up here. Unlock this back door here. All the door panels are in great shape. Body's not all beat up. There's a little bit of hail damage, that'll give me some body work on the channel, show how to do some of that stuff. This stuff right here is close to like hail damage. I'll end up going down to the grocery store I don't know if they still sell it or not, but Harps used to sell dry ice. So I'll take my saline torch and I'm not really worried about the paint job because I'm going to repaint it anyway, but you can do it and not hurt the paint job. You just take that torch and kind of go back and forth over it, and warm it up, heat it up without burning the paint. And then you take that dry ice in a rag or something, make sure you're wearing gloves because that stuff will burn you. And you just rub it over it while it's hot and it'll make those little hail damage dents go and pop right out. One day, there's my wife's 69 Ford pickup. It was her grandpa's. It's a short wide bed. It needs a new motor. She said it had a 289 in it whenever her grandpa got it. And then they messed that motor up and they put a 302 in it. But we'd really like to put another 289 or, but I've got the steering column back here. Whenever we towed it to the house, whenever her mom and dad moved out of their house in Springdale, the guy that was driving the wrecker wouldn't listen and snapped the Pitman arm bar that controls it. But that'll be one thing that we do on the channel. Whenever I find or get a motor for it, I'll film, putting the motor in it, painting it up, dolling it out, It's not a bad looking truck. The body's in great shape. It's not all rusted out. There might be just a tad bit of cancer somewhere along the edges here, like in the bottom of this fender. That won't be too awfully hard to repair. Clunkers and Classics has taught me a few tricks with this stuff right here, getting rid of that and repairing it without using Bondo, because you'll have to use a little bit of Bondo sometimes to make sure it's taken to shape, but I like to try to do everything with metal and welding. If I cut something out, I'm going to try to weld it back in and use weld like Bondo in tacks. It's called spot welding in little areas around it, all until you've got a solid bead. But you can't just do a solid bead because you'll burn through the metal so thin. Another project that I have here that I'm going to be doing on the channel, I got it like this as a basket. It's a 02 or an 03 Suzuki Gixxer 600. Now the issue that was with this bike, I noticed whenever I got it, there's the tote with some more of the parts in it back there. And then there's some of the fairings and stuff under here. The whole bike is here. You got the wind guard with the headlight and stuff. And this is the motor, which it's already in parts. Underneath some of this stuff that I've piled up here, electric motors. I'm going to build some kind of winch with these motors here. I've got all the stuff to run it and everything, controls. I'll do that on the channel, probably go under the hobby side. But there's a lot of the hardware and stuff to the Gixxer motor. The issue with this motor, as you can see, the transmission's out of it right here and here in these bars. These shifting arms, it looks like this. These go, move this little bar right down here across these gears, which put these gears into place. That's, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth, and this is where it goes to the chain. So you can't mistake where these actually go inside here. You can't put one in one place and one in the other. They'll only fit in one place because here's why. This gear bar has the sprocket that sticks out of the side of the engine that your chain goes on for the back wheel. This one, however, does not. but these little forks move back and forth, moving this little bar right down here, causing these to move and the gears sliding to shift the gears to put you in certain gears. And there's this one right here too that does the same thing. See, whenever you move the shifter, it moves this. This thing has that little knuckle. This little arm has that knuckle on it, and as you see, it fits into these little grooves. And as this thing turns, it moves that back and forth and side to side, kind of, which, you know, make these little deals go. But what happened is somehow this one broke off inside the engine, and as you look on this one, it sheared a bunch of the teeth off of it. This gear is totally bad. It's wasted. You know, I got everything here to the motor, and I'll be, you know, putting that together. I found those transmission gears with this rod, this, and all three arms or fork arms for $100. It'll be a little more than 100, you know, with shipping and everything. But that'll be, you know, a project, you know, going through the motor, redoing all the gaskets, fixing the transmission, making sure, you know, it's not locked up now. The pistons and everything look really good from the bottom. I'll finish taking the, I don't remember if I took the head up, if the head was off, or if I took the, okay, yeah, the head's off of it. Anyway, the pistons look pretty good in there, nothing hit it. Then years ago, a few years ago, I had this 03 Triumph Speed Triple 955i. I replaced the front end on it and everything. I painted it. That's some of the paint job. It's dirty. Oh, but it shattered the left piston whenever I was riding it. Apparently there was something damaged inside it when it was wrecked the first time. And, you know, trying to be fast, I just put it together, you know, it was running and it sounded good. So I got to get a new motor for it because the inside of that case is wasted. It's trashed. Then there's this 1984 Honda Goldwing 1200. It runs and drives great. I've rode it around, you know, a lot. I've got it apart right now because I plan on painting it. It's going to be a dark metallic blue with a marble look to it. So it'll kind of look like marble. It's done in marble. You know, that's a project that I'm going to finish on the channel. I've been wanting to paint it for quite a few years. It's in great shape. The factory radio's still on it. Still works. The factory speakers are still there. I haven't changed those out. I plan on changing the speakers out. I unlocked that radio and pulled it out. I was going to put a Marina CD player in there, but the plug on the back of that plugs directly into the stereo. There's no wires from the stereo. You just slide that stereo in, and there's a clip mounted back in there on a bracket that has the wiring harness for the radio there, and then whenever you slide it in, it just clips in. And I didn't put that CD player in it because I didn't want to butcher up that factory harness for the factory stereo. It's all original. I don't want to take away from that by, you know, butchering that harness up and putting that CD player in there. So what I'll end up doing is getting one of them little Bluetooth speaker mounts that mount on the little handlebars and stuff there, and doing it that way, and still being able to use the factory stereo. Then I got my 1978 Ford F100 Custom. It is a short wide bed as well. It runs and drives. It's got the original 302 in it with the original 4-speed transmission, the original rear end, all numbers matching. I got it from Old Guy for a really good price. I do still have the factory seat for it, but it was in rough shape. It wasn't very comfortable. I plan on reupholstering it, putting new stuff in it, and then putting it back in there. But right now I got two blue Ford bucket seats in there. It's a little hard to get to it, to open it up. Let's see if I can get in there so I can show you the inside of it. Anyway, I got some goat cart project stuff laying around back here. Inside's really nice. I mean, it needs some floorboard work from sitting around a lot. Right there, it's pretty rusted out under that mat. But I mean, it's in really good shape. Other than that, I mean, look at that dash. It's perfect. Needs cleaned up. I mean, sorry, there it goes. I put this little console thing in here. Factory door panels. They don't look it, but they are a little rough. I'll, address that whenever I get to it in the channel. This baby needs a freeze plug. And I'd got hit following my old boss with another truck back here coming out of the car lot. It was a lot worse than that. I'll address fixing that on the channel too, but it had this body cancer here that whenever I got it, and it's got some on the other side in the same place. We'll be doing that on the channel too. We'll be taking this thing completely apart all the way down to bare frame, sandblasting it, making sure that hasn't rusted out, which it shouldn't, because it had some rust protectant on the frame before I got it. That's a little project, for my channel too. I'll go through, stripping it down, pull the hood off of it, the front clip, fenders, the cab. Like I said, take it down to bare frame and start from pretty much the ground and work my way back. While I got the cab and everything apart, I'll do, the body work, fix the body cancer and stuff. Possibly get a new bed for it. If I can fix that one pretty easily, I probably will, just to save a little bit of money. Because, again, I don't have any sponsors. This is directly out of my pocket, and it's mainly for entertainment purposes only. This is my little kind of workshop there. I'll be putting kind of a garage style one right here in this corner. I'll probably film cutting the rest of this stuff out. Just kind of so y'all can see how it goes. We got a pretty good sized yard over here though. So, there's that. This stuff over here is goat cart project stuff. I've got a build in mind. I'm going to use kind of bed framing. The L, they look like an L, the bed rails. I'm going to use that to build framing. But it's supposed to look like a 32 Ford Roadster hot rod, convertible style. I got these front ends for it, steering arms, wheels, tires. This is the rear end. CV axle style. This is part of the rear end that I was going to use in it. And the stuff for the driveline. you know, and then there's those bars, right, that bar right there that bolts onto this and slides into this yoke. But you know, there's some of that, some shocks and stuff there. There's shocks in that stuff. Then I got this little goat cart that I built over here quite a few years ago. It was a basic frame. I put the Suzuki 230 Quad Sport 86 Suzuki 230 Quad Sport on it. It's kickstart. It needs some work. I'll be working on it on the channel. It needs an intake there where the carburetor hooks up, and then you know that's a brand new carburetor. It needs air filter set up for it, which I think I got a solution. I'm gonna end up taking this motor completely back off of it because I don't much like my bracketi brackets that I made, the engine mounts. They seem kind of weak to me. I mean, though whenever I was riding it around, I probably did 35, 40 in third gear. I never really had it out of third gear, but it sucker books it, and that motor didn't budge or move around. It's still pretty solid in there, but I'm gonna redo them because of the way this is. This motor needs to be repositioned to where the chain can't ride right here because it'll break that off. I'd already done it once and I repaired it, but I need to redo this tensioner here, move it into that further to where, you know, that has no slack or bounce. This is the reverse gear. You put it in neutral up here and it has reverse. That's the reason why I loved this motor. I just never got around to hooking a shifter linkage up to come over here and operate something over here to put it in reverse. But I also thought about just putting a little extender on it out here and just putting a little lever you can reach back and grab. But you know, that's kind of difficult. It'd be real nice to have it right up there on that little e-brake looking thing. Then there's that project there. I want to redo it. You know. Anyway, let's move on to some of the other projects that I got going on around here on the hobby side of it, which is woodworking. I've got these old particle board tables. They had been wet, so it's real bad keeping all the hardware out of it, and these legs and stuff. And I'm gonna remake them using wood. I've got lots of bed planks, and then there's this stuff here that I've got that I sanded and stained, which I'll sand and stain again because after I put them all together. But I'll make big square sheets, and I'll set this table on it. You know, set it on top of the square rectangle planks that I make, and trace out this circle and then cut it out of it. Then kind of do a little more sanding and maybe some putty filler in there to make it smooth, and then varnish it after I stain it and make new tables. Those will be real nice. Then there's this wood here that I'll probably use for stuff like that, making tables. It's got some hardware in it that I can pop out of there and save to use in some of my stuff. There's these little tables over here and end tables that are the same. I'm keeping the metal framing and all the little gadgets that make the drawers in them work and stuff. And put that in the new ones that I build out of, you know, materials like this. Just cut short, glued together. make tops. Same kind of material and stuff is going to be used on this table up here. You guys already seen the compressor that I got running on my last video. I'll be doing the top to this table right here on my channel as well. I'll probably be finishing off this greenhouse that I was putting together for my wife on my channel now. Just, you know, so there's entertainment stuff for you guys to watch. You can expect to see a wide variety of videos on my channel. Eventually, I'll be ripping this camper apart because the roof leaks, and it's because the center is sagging down like that, where the air conditioner on the top is up there. I'm building a storage trailer out of it, and then I'll take some of the materials that come out of it, you know, like the insides, the wiring, the breaker box and stuff, the some of that stuff out of there, and I'll use it in another camper trailer that I might get for cheap to put together. So that'll be on the channel eventually. I don't know when these projects are gonna, you know, start, but some of them will. I'm gonna start on that Pontiac probably first because it already runs and drives. It'll be easy to paint it. It'll be easy to put a nice exhaust on it. Maybe order a supercharger, bolt-on supercharger for it. Probably end up painting my wife's 92 GMC Sierra. It's in great shape. It runs great. It's got a 350 in it. I'll probably paint the 02 Saturn. We kind of had a little mishap on a hydroplane and had to replace the back quarter panel, and I still got to do the trunk deck. I'll do the trunk deck on the channel too. Then there's the old hot rod back here. I have big plans for this baby. It's going to take some time to get to it. But this is a 2004 Mazda MX-6. As you can see, the body's in pretty good shape. It does need a lot of work. I've got to get it running. It's having some kind of firing issue. I think that's an issue in the brain. Not really an issue, but it doesn't have any oil in it because it's a brand new motor. I'll pop the hood shortly and show you. It'll need a new windshield, but just walk around it for a minute and take a look at it with you guys. This will be coming to the channel. Some work doing to it, you know, but the body's in really good shape. It needs tires. It needs tires. Again, I don't have any sponsors, so it may take a little while to get these things on the channel. Some of it, you know, I'll do a little here and there and post it just so you know, you guys have some entertainment and not waiting too long for it. I am not opposed to accepting sponsorships. I don't know how to put a link in or anything like that. So if you want to send me sponsors and stuff like that, you can. I think there's an email on YouTube that you can email me. But you can probably send them to Bobby Harvey 1234567 at gmail.com. That's Bobby Harvey 1234567 at gmail.com. Anyway, back to revealing of this little project here. The body's in pretty decent shape. There's a little body work to be done right down here, but I mean, it's not really bad. Now for the inside, it needs a lot of work. So I'm not even sure I'm going to keep it, you know, as a Mazda. I've thought about trying to build the car Charlie Sheen drives out of the Wraith, even though that's a Dodge Daytona and this is a Mazda MX-6. I don't know, you know, it does have a nice back seat and interior. That's not, you know, it just needs cleaned up real good. But there's no front seats, no, there is door panels, they're in the trunk. I'll try to get that other door open over there and I'll pop the trunk so that you can see those. There's some pieces, but it needs carpet, seats, you know. I do have the door panels. Open that trunk up. It's kind of heavy. The shocks don't work. So yeah, see, it's got the front door panels, both of them, and they're in the, you know, switches and stuff are in it. I don't know if you guys could see that or not, but there they are. You can see they do have the switches. Anyway, let me get you guys over here on this tripod of mine. Yeah, you can see it. I got a pretty nice one. I've got it fixed up for my phone camera here, because that's what I'm using, guys, believe it or not. There is something I forgot to do in my last video with this compressor, and that was put the top back on it. So I think I'll go ahead and do that on here, and then I'll move over to trying to take the battery out of the Pontiac and get the battery charged up, so on the next video I can fire it up so you guys can hear it. My jump box is currently dead. Otherwise, I'd go ahead and fire it up now. Let me get you adjusted over here where you can actually hear me. Again, guys, I wrote in my comments, I apologize that you guys couldn't hear me in my last video. I don't have an actual mic. I'm relying on the mic on this phone. Apparently, it ain't so great. The only reason you can hear me now is because I'm right on it. Lower this thing down a little bit where you're a little bit closer to me. But those of you who viewed my last video, if you remember, I couldn't find the 10mm socket, so I ended up using a wrench. Guess what? As long as it didn't disappear again, I found the 10mm socket. Let's see if I can find it again. 16. Head burn it. I knew just as soon as I told you guys that I'd found it, I'd lose it. Oh, there it is. Wow, I found it back again. Ain't that amazing? The elusive 10mm socket. Let me get over here and see if I can make you asleep. Bam. Come on, camera, quit blurring. Yeah, I think you guys can kind of see it, but anyway, you guys know what a 10mm looks like. You don't need me to show you. Okay. This goes back on. I can get it slid down in there. It's a tight fit. Oh, inside where you came from. Aha. Aha. That's not right. Okay, what's wrong here? Something isn't right. Putting it back together has always got to be the worst part of it, I think. Trying to get it back down where it goes and everything. What the fudge? Ah, that stuff gotta be such pain. I mean, come on. Fuck. Oops, sorry guys. Didn't mean to say that. Wasn't supposed to come out as that. Bobby's about to get aggravated. Get that bolt started in there. Come over here and get one of these started in now. Hopefully. I knew it. As soon as I pulled up on it, it was going to slide off of there. Okay, this thing's about to be left in the dust. Oh my goodness. Really? Why? Such a Scrooge. Get where you belong. Oh my goodness. Why is it so stinking hard to get bolts lined back up where they go? I mean, you know, you got it in the right place. Why does it not want to line back up right? For crying out loud. Alright, two more and that one's done. Little Phillips screws here. Well, I'll tell you what, it is hot today. I mean, it doesn't seem like it. It probably wouldn't be so bad, but oh my goodness. Nothing lines up anymore. Oh, Bobby's getting aggravated. Oh, it's what happens when you get in a hurry. You forget some stuff. This one's going to be a fairly decently long video. The reason being is because a friend of mine told me the longer the video, the better. It creates more advertisement and revenue from that, and I guess that helps keep YouTube free. So I'm going to try to get this battery in this video now that I've got this done. I'm going to go ahead and plug it up and make sure it still works so that I didn't screw something up pulling around. because you guys all heard it run in my last video. Sounds like it runs. That's awesome. Excellent, excellent. Okay, now let's move over here. I will have to adjust my tripod legs again, so bear with me, guys. I've got to make it tall enough for you to see what's going on over there, you know. Okay. Sorry about all that, folks. I'm trying to make it where you can be close enough to hear me. Let's see if I can zoom in on that battery there, because, yeah, there we go. That's around about where I'm going to be working at right now. I got to find some tools to take this loose. Battery's not locked in, so I might not have to do that. I'll be right back. So basically, I've got some distilled water sitting over on my bandsaw there. What I'm going to do is take this battery out and pop the caps open on it. Oh, if I can get this thing off of here. Oh, I hate those. These don't work. No problems yesterday, the last video, all problems this video. I mean, jeez. I'm getting tired of shit like that. Ah! Can't lose that. That's my damn terminal. Starting to get irritated. Now, see how dry these babies are. Got a little in them. Basically, what I'm trying to do is rejuvenate the battery. Sometimes you can fill them up and they'll charge and keep a charge. Make sure you got distilled water though. Okay. Now, I break out the battery charger. Always make sure you double check. Make sure you got the negative on the negative, the positive on the positive. Because if you don't, and this battery had a chance, you screwed it right there. Let me go grab the cord and plug this up. And you can see there, as soon as I plugged it up, it jumped up to a 10. So this puppy may take a charge. Set it up for about 5 hours. Alright guys, I guess that's it for today. If you like what you enjoyed, go ahead and hit the little thumbs up on the bottom and like this video. And if you're looking forward to seeing some of the projects take shape later on in other videos, go ahead and hit the subscribe up in the top right corner of the page, and go ahead and select the all if you don't already have it selected, so that you get all my future videos and you'll be notified. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.